Wait, let me show you. So we have created a drop down now. Where it is? See. So
Yeah.
let's say we have a country drop down. What we can do, we will create a variable selected country. Data type will be string. Okay. Now this variable, we can bind it to our this drop down by using ng model directive. Okay. And this variable value, we will print it afterwards also. So whatever the drop down value we select, that will get displayed also. Okay. So see, currently no value is selected. So after hyphen, nothing is there. If I select USA, USA is getting printed. If I select India, India is getting printed. This was your question or something else?
Yes, this one.
Okay.
Okay,
See,
sir, got your point.
what are the input element we have? Doesn't matter if it is a checkbox, drop down, radio button, text area, input type number, text, date, whatever it can be. If you want the value of that, what you need to do? You need to create a variable and bind that variable to the that particular element by using ng model. So like that, you will get the value of that input field. Clear?
Uh, yes, sir,
Same ways
got it.
go for the checkbox also. Okay. Now,
Okay, sir. Okay.
yeah. Anyone else has any question? Okay, fine. Now we will start with the directive. Let me just create a component. Ng generate component. What is it? Structural directive. Okay. So I'm creating a structural directive component. Now, before directive, so what is directive? So first of all, directive is kind of a term which is only limited to Angular. Okay. This term, directive term, is only limited to Angular. Okay. And this type of behavior is also limited to Angular only. No other technology is there where we have this kind of behavior. Okay. Now, so if we talk about directive, there are two types of directive. First is attribute directive. Or let's say first will structural directive. And then we have attribute directive. Okay. So now structural directive. In the name itself, you can see we have structure. Okay. So in structural directive, we have ngIf, ngFor, ngSwitch. Okay. These are the directives which we have in the structural directive. Then in attribute, we have ngClass and ngStyle. Okay. So in structural directive, we have ngIf, ngFor, and ngSwitch. And in attribute directive, we have ngClass and ngStyle. Now, what is the difference between these two? So structural directive, in the name itself, it has structure. A directive, okay. First of all, what is directive is like? A directive is something which has some functionality and that we can add on a particular element. And whatever the functionality that directive has, it will perform that functionality on the particular element. On which element we add that directive, it will change the appearance or the behavior of that element. Okay. So structural directive are directives which are responsible to change the structure of the DOM or page. Sometimes I will call it as a DOM or sometimes I will call it as a HTML page. So what is HTML page is nothing but a DOM. Okay. Document object model. Okay. So structural directives are the type of directive which are responsible to change the structure of the DOM. By means change means it can create new element, it can remove the existing element. Means basically it can change the structure of your HTML page. Got it? So those are identified as structural directive. Okay. So ngIf, we use ngIf to add or remove the element from the DOM. ngFor to create new element, to iterate, to create new element, we use ngFor. ngSwitch also same. Okay. Now attribute directive. So all the HTML element have some attribute, correct? So out of that, class and style, okay, that we can make it dynamic by using this ng class or ng style. So attribute structural directives are responsible to change the structure of the directive, but attribute directives are responsible to change the behavior of the directive. It cannot add or remove element. Okay, it cannot change the structure of the element, but what it can do, it can just add extra class or style to an existing element. Clear the difference between structural and attribute? With attribute directive, we cannot create new element, or we cannot uh, add new element also, or hide or remove also. But with structural directive, we can add or remove, we can create new element also. Okay. So these are the two various directives we have. Again, so custom directive. We can create our own custom directives also. In that we use host listener, host binding, so many things are there. Okay. This is these are predefined directive which Angular has provided a structural and the attribute. Okay. We can create our own directives also. Then component. It is also kind of a directive. Okay. The remaining directives, let's say structural, attribute, or custom, all these three types of directive doesn't have a HTML template. But component is a type of directive which has the HTML template. Okay. So if anyone asks you like what are the types of directives we have, majorly it is two only, structural and attribute. But if we go into deep, then we can create our own directives also, and component is also kind of a directive. So majorly speaking, we have four. Clear?
Once I got this question, sir, is component a directive?
Yeah. So component is a
In one
directive.
of the interview, they asked, is component a directive?
Yes, component is a
That time
directive.
I thought like only structural and attribute are
No, no, no.
um,
No, component is
okay.
also a kind of
Okay, sir.
directive, but it has a HTML template. Structural and attribute doesn't have a template. Even custom
Okay.
directive also we cannot have a template, but a component is a type of directive which has a template. Again, these
So,
are types of directive.
this component means
Component, what component we created? Na? This is a directive also. We created component. Na?
okay.
This is
So
nothing
that
but direct.
component we have TS file, HTML.
Everything, combination, all
Okay.
those things. It's a directive.
Combination. Okay.
Okay.
Hmm.
Now, after that, we have ng model, router outlet, router link. Okay. Then again, so many things are there. So these are also directive. ng model is also a directive. Router outlet is also a directive. Router link is also a directive. Okay. These are default directive we have. Now all these type of directive are only limited with the template. Can we use directive in the .ts? Have we used any directive in the .ts yet? We cannot use the directive in the .ts. It is only limited to the HTML template only. We use directives in template only. Okay. So this is just a brief history of directive. Okay.
ng model router outlet which comes under which directive?
So that I'm also not sure, like, because see, router outlet doesn't, router outlet, the purpose of router outlet is like, it helps us to render the activated route. Means by default, it is changing the structure of the
Okay.
directive, right? So it will go over here. Router link, it is not going to change the structure. This directive just help us to navigate. Correct? So it is not changing the structure. So, and it is not an attribute, it is not behaving like attribute also, right? Because it is not providing any extra behavior to the existing element also. Got it? So it cannot go into
Okay.
anything. ng model also nothing doing, but it adds some functionality, which two-way binding, which we can do, right? So if anyone asks you, like, can we categorize them? So you can simply say, no, we cannot categorize them, right? Because the reason I told you, like, this is not, it's not going to change the structure. This is also not going to change the structure. This is also not going to change the structure. Okay. But what is the definition? A directive is something which can have a specific functionality. So this directive have some specific functionality, but it cannot be categorized under any of it. So we can call it as a default directives. Okay. Just try ChatGPT if it gives the
Okay,
answer.
okay, sir. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
Fine. So now today we are going to see ngIf directive. So structural directive we have created. Let's render this component also. Until we will first complete the directive, then we will implement the routing. Then we don't have to do like that. So app structural directive. Okay. Now in structural directive, I will just create a UI. Remember one thing, whenever you are practicing any topic, either it is ngIf, ngClass, @if, for anything, or routing also, a template form, reactive form, design your UI also very properly. So when you design your UI very properly, na, that whatever the topic you are practicing, it will have an impact to better understand it if you design the UI and play with the UI properly. Okay. So don't just create a div and hide and show. Just design it properly. Okay. So let's create a row. Inside that, call 3. And to this call 3, I will add P2 or P3. Okay. And inside that, I will have one more div with BG success color. Means a div with background color green. Okay. Now I will just copy paste this div. So this is success. Then let's say danger, secondary, and primary. What is the color we get when we add this BG primary?
Blue color.
Right? Blue color. Div 1, div 2, div 3, div 4. Okay. After this row, I will create one more call 3. And inside this call 3, I have button with class btn, btn. Whenever you are designing, whenever you are writing the HTML code also, na, you should have the image ready, like how it is going to look. So you don't have to again save and check how it is looking. Whenever you are designing, you should create an image also, like whatever you are writing, how it is going to look. Getting my point? Or no? So that it will save your development, it will increase your development speed. Because normally what we do, we will create a div, save, and again we will check it. So many time will go into waste, na? Right? So just have a confidence like how you are designing, like that it should render. Okay. Let's copy. Let me just design the UI. Then we will see toggle. Here I will take 2 text box. Last one, let it be like that. Danger. Okay. PT3. Okay. Instead of, see, we have given P3 over here. Instead of over here, we should have over here. Because P3 is like padding to the parent div, but we need this div to be properly with big size. So that's why I'm adding padding over here. Let's save. Okay. So see, we have this design. Now we have 4 different scenarios. Okay. Now we are going to see ngIf. So ngIf directive is responsible to add or remove element from the from our template. Okay. It is actually add or remove. It's not hide and show. Okay. For the scenario, I'm writing like hide and show, but it doesn't hide and show. It's actually remove that element from your DAO and again add it. Okay. Now let's see. So first scenario is like we have two buttons, show and hide. If we click on show, this div one should be visible. If we click on hide, that div one should be removed. This particular div should be removed. Scenario is clear?
Yes.
Okay. One more thing. What is wrong in this design?
Hide and show button.
Hmm?
Hmm.
What is wrong in this design? Two things are wrong. Tell me.
Toggle one which we have to
No.
see options.
I'm just talking about design. How in this
Okay.
page,
Need the space on two
Button
buttons.
space.
right?
Hide and
Space
show.
is there. Again,
And we need the space before D1 and
Test
the
box up.
after
Test box coming up and down.
see, first of all, we can add a container. So from all the four sides, we will have some spacing. Okay. Then we should have spacing in between these two buttons over here also and over here also. And these two text box are up to one after another. But we can create this text box in a side by side also, right? Or we can have a space also. That is also fine. Okay. So whenever we are designing, we should be careful about these points also. So while practicing, if you make it as a regular thing, so in interview and in the machine test also, you don't have to worry because you have that way of writing. Okay. So these small things also will matter. Let's say 5 candidates are there, which are applying for the position you are also applying. Something should be unique, na? That you have. As an Angular developer, we only are going to design the UI also. So companies are not just going to judge you on the Angular side. They are going to judge you on the UI design also. Correct? So from the small things also, it makes a very important impact. Okay. Now, let me just minimize everything. So our first task is MX2 is the class. So now you will get some space. So our first task is on click of show, we need to remove this div, and on click of show, we need to show, and on click of hide, we need to remove this div. Okay. So for that, what we need to do, first we need to create a variable. Okay. Let's create a variable first. So the variable name. Now what my variable name should be? What should be my variable name? I'm going to create a Boolean variable. What should be my variable name?
Is true.
Right?
Is good.
Whenever I say Boolean, my variable name should start with is.
Yeah.
That is not a rule, but that is a mandatory, that is a good programming practice. Now, which div where we are going to use that variable over here? And what is the title we have? Div1. So what we can say is div1 visible. Okay. Data type Boolean. By default, true value. Okay. So we have created a variable with Boolean type and we have initialized true variable. Now I can use this variable on this div. This is the div which I want to hide and remove. So here I want to add star ng if. How do we write? Structural directive will start with star equal to. Now for star ng if we have to pass the variable. See, first of all, it's not that variable. ngIf requires true or false value. What does ngIf need? True or false value. If this ngIf has got true value, this div will render. If this ngIf got false value, this div will get removed. Understood? So now here we are going to pass this variable. Okay. Let's save and check. Currently in this variable, what is the value? True. So what I said, if ngIf got true value, it will render this div. See, div is rendering. If I change this true to false, you won't be able to see that div. Removed? Understood? So, and what does ngIf need? True or false value. Okay. If it got true, this div will render, means this div will be visible. If it got false, this div will be removed. Okay. I said removed, right? Let me just show you that. If we inspect over here, see inside this call tree, do we have the div? Right? We don't have that div. So completely that element got removed. Got it? So it's not hiding actually, it's removing the particular element from the DOM, from your page. Okay. So many interviews are like this. They will only try to confuse you. Is it hiding or showing, or is it removing? So just be clear. It's not hide show. It's actually remove the element from the DOM. Clear? Okay. Now, so we know, like if we change this variable value to true, if this variable value is true, then this div will render. If this variable value is false, then this div will hide. Okay. So now same thing, we just need, now on click of show and hide, we just need to do that. So what we can do, on click of show and hide, we just need to change the variable value. Okay. So now, do we have to create two function or one function? On this two, we have
One
two
fun,
button,
one,
show and
one
hide.
function.
What we
One
are going to
function.
do? Yeah, we are going to just change the variable value. So instead of
One
creating
button.
two different function,
One
you can just
function.
create one function, but it will have a parameter, correct?
Yes.
So
Yes, sir.
show hide div1. Okay. No, first we will complete the basic one. Let's create a show div because I need to show the toggle. Show div1. We will go with the normal way. And in this function, what we need to do?
Is dot boolean. Oh, sorry, is
What we need to do?
true.
True, na? Show. Okay. This function we will call it over here. Click like this. Okay. Then we will need another function for hide. Hide div1. And here we will make it just false. Now this function we have to call on this button click. Click. Let's just check if it is working fine. So by default, that variable value is false. So if we click on show, now let's see this. So now inside this div call 3, we have this div present. Okay. If I click on hide, just pay attention over here. See that div got completely removed. Now you must have understood. It's not hide and show. It's actually removing that element from our page. Got it? Again, if I click show,
Yes.
again it has created that div. So it's not actually hide and show. It's removing the element from the div. Got it? Okay. So show hide properly working. So here we have created two buttons and based on the two buttons, we have the functionality. Now, second scenario is whatever we did over here, same thing we have to do with one button. Tell me how we can do that. Second scenario. Just hide and show we need to do, but with one button only.
We just check the previous value. If it is true, then change it false.
Right? So we will create one more variable is div2 visible. Data type again. Now here I'm just going to create the data types with string. Instead of is, I will say div2 visible. So all scenarios will be covered. VIS ideally. Okay. By default, I will say yes. Okay. Now, so in the first scenario was very easy. What first thing, like what ngIf require? What type of value ngIf require?
In the
Boolean.
boolean.
True, false.
Boolean, na? Okay. So if
Hmm.
it got true value, it will render that div, or else it will remove that div. Clear? Now what I have done, I have created a string type of variable. Can I pass this variable over here now? Can I pass
No.
like this?
No.
Because this has a string value. So
Hmm.
what I need to
Yeah.
do over here?
No.
We can use ng
Hmm?
ng switch.
No. Using ngIf only.
Okay.
See, previous example, it was easy. We were getting the true and false value, so we directly added that over here on the ngIf. But now we have a string type of variable. So how we need to do that?
We have to convert it like typecasting to
How you
Boolean.
string
In the
value, how you will convert?
brackets, I think, or
See, we have a variable. In that variable, we have a yes. How you are going to convert this string value to the Boolean? We cannot convert string to Boolean.
But ngIf will accept only true false value, right?
So that is
Only
what I'm
Boolean
asking now.
values.
How we will achieve that?
Creating one function inside the
No.
function.
See, what is the output of comparison? What is the output of comparison? What type of data we get when we compare?
Boolean.
true or false.
Boolean value, na?
Yeah.
So this variable has yes. So if we have to show this div, we can do the comparison over here, na? Like this.
Okay.
Yeah, correct.
Okay. So what will be the output of this?
It'll be
Okay.
true.
True.
Right?
True.
Currently
Yeah.
true, because in this variable we have
Yes.
yes. Got it?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Ultimately, ngIf requires true or false. Doesn't matter it get it from variable or a comparison.
Okay.
Clear? Let's check it.
Yes.
So currently that div will be visible because we have compared with yes and the variable value is also yes. If I say no over here, now the output of this will be false. So see that div got removed. Clear everyone?
So we can use 0, 1 instead of yes or no, right?
You can do anything, na?
Okay.
Anything. Same thing. You compare it over here.
Mhm.
Correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, see, let me just print it also. What we have provided over here, I will print it. What I got? False. The output of this interpolation. So we are providing false value over here, so it will remove. Okay. And if I say yes over here, we will get true. So if it is true, div got visible. Got it? Now what we need to do? What is remaining now? What is remaining now?
Drop
On this
down.
button click, na? No.
Yeah.
Talking about task. On this button click, toggle button is there, na? So on
Yes.
this toggle, what we need to do?
Create a function.
But what we are going to do in that function?
Hide and
Yeah, hide and show, but what will be the logic I'm asking? What logic we will write it over here?
change the boolean.
No. We are talking about this scenario, this div and this button. For this div, what we did, we created this variable. Now tell me what we need to write it over here. See,
These dot.
wait. In the first scenario, we had two buttons. One is for show and one is for edit. Now same thing, hide and show we need to achieve, but with a single button. Now tell me what will be the logic over here.
Sir, we will check if if variable is true, we will do it. We
Where
will
is
check
true?
False.
if else.
Where is true?
False.
We have a string variable. Where is true false?
If a string is yes, okay. In that case, we will check.
No.
We will do false.
Right? See, what is the condition we have written? If this variable value is yes, then we are going to display this div. So what we need to do to hide this div? We just
Make
need to change
no.
the variable value to no or something else. Anything it can be, no, apart from yes. Right? So that's it. So if
Yes.
this dot div to visible is equal to yes. If it is yes, what I need to do?
Make it to no.
Right?
Yes.
No. What is the error? Okay, div to visible. And in else, what we need to do?
Yes.
Right? Again, we need to set it back to yes. Got it? Okay. Let's save and check. So by default, it is visible. If I click, hidden. Again, if I click, visible. This is toggle. Got it? Understood now?
Yes.
Now, this is around 1, 2, 3, 4 line code. How do we minimize this code or optimize this code? Is this proper code or can we minimize this code?
Yes.
Using
Uh,
ternary
you-
operators, ternary operator.
Right? By using ternary operator. Okay. So I will keep this, but in a commented format. So now this dot div to visible is equal to, we need to change the variable value of this. Now we will use ternary operator. So if this has yes value, then we will set no value
No.
or again yes.
Yes.
Fine. So whatever we have written with if and else with single line, we can write it like this. So if this got true, in this variable, what we will store? No. Otherwise, yes. Let's save and check. It should behave the same. Behaving the same? Understood, everyone? So that's what I said. JavaScript, you should have the knowledge. So many people were trying to join, but those who don't know JavaScript, there was no sense to join this course. Because if I have to cover the JavaScript also, no, then it will take 3 months. Okay? Understood, everyone? What we
Yes.
have
Sir,
written over here,
yes.
same thing we have reduced to one line. Okay?
Okay.
This you should not write. Okay, this is just for our understanding. Average, always, whenever there are only two conditions, always go for the ternary operator. Okay, fine. So our two scenarios are done. So now what will be the scenario for this third div 3? What can be the scenario? You have to tell me, like, you can see the UI design. Now tell me what will be the scenario. We have two text box and a div. What will be the scenario?
Comparing both values.
Right? We have two text box, so obviously we can compare, and based on the comparison, we will at least hide or show. Okay. So where it is, let's use the placeholder. Let's say num1, num2. Okay. So what we will do, if both the text box has the same value, we will show this div. If both the text box has the different value, we will hide it. Clear, everyone? Scenario?
Yes.
Okay. Now tell me what first we have to do. What I said, if user has entered 12, both the text box has the same value, so we will show this div. If user has entered 14, now both the text box has different value, so we need to hide this div. Now tell me how we can achieve this.
Yes.
Can
First,
create
we take
two
the two string
variables.
value.
Sorry.
Two text box will have two variables, and in if we'll compare those values.
Right. So we have two text box, correct? So obviously we need to read the value of the text box. How do we read? Obviously we will create the variable, and that variable we will bind it to the text box by using ng model. Correct? So let's create two variable. Num1 data type string is equal to empty. I'm initializing with empty value. String empty. Okay. So we have two variable. Now first variable I will bind it over here, square bracket, round bracket, ng model over here, and second will go over here, num2 over here. Okay. So we have created two variable we have binded to the respective text box. Now if user types something, the text box value will get set to over here. Now on div 3 star. Okay, one more thing. Can we add ngIf over here?
No.
No, no.
Yeah.
So we can only add ngIf on the starting element, not on the ending. Okay. Anyone can ask anything. Huh? So just be alert. Sometimes in the interview, whenever we are in the interview phase now, we are in a very attentive mode, right? So if someone asks you like, is it possible? We might ending up saying yes. We don't know. After interview, we might realize what how mistake I have done, right? So just be attentive. Now what we need to do over here? Tell me. What should go over here in ngIf,
Num1
Num1.
double equal to num2.
right? Num1. We just need to compare, na? So if
Mhm.
both the variable has the same value, we will show that. Otherwise, we will hide it. That's it. So currently, both the variable has empty value. So that's why div is visible. If I change any text box value, see, it got hidden. Again, if I pass 12, it is visible. If I change again different value, so hidden. Clear, everyone?
Yes.
Okay. So this is how we do it. Clear?
Clear, sir.
Okay. Now,
Sir,
yeah.
a small thing, like we need, like for debugging, can you show from this how to do? Um,
Debugging as in,
um, just like here,
see,
we know only two variables, so we can easily identify. But actually, I don't know how to debug, sir.
see, debugging is like with this scenario, we cannot debug because we know like it's just a variable. So what we can do, you can just print the variable value like this. Whatever you have passed over here, you can just directly print. Printing is the best thing to debug. Okay.
Oh, okay, okay.
So that
Okay,
will you
sir.
will get to know like what is the output of that, how it is behaving. Wait for the
Oh,
project to start because in project actually I can show you the debugging. These are very basic
oh,
concept. Now here we cannot show the debugging. But this is
oh,
normally
okay,
like for
sir.
debugging also, this is the only thing. We print the value, we add the debugger, we check what is the value variable as by hovering on that variable. That is only the debugging. But in project, I can show you everything. Okay,
Mm, okay, sir.
fine. So now in last, what we will do, we will create a drop down. Now everyone must have sometimes filled any government exam form or at least college registration form or school somewhere you might have filled a form where we have to select a caste, correct?
Yes. Yes.
Right? So when we fill that form, we will have a caste drop down and some famous caste name will be provided over here. And one more option will be there, that is other. Everyone has seen something like that.
Yes.
Okay. So let's see that scenario. So what I will do, I will create a drop down. Let's say form, select option, select caste. Okay. And then we will have some option OPT, let's say OBC, let's say open,
One. One.
SC, NT, and let's say one more caste we will have as other. Okay. Let's get it into a new div. Okay. After this call, we will have call to, and here we will have a text box. We'll have a placeholder, enter other caste. Okay. Now, what will be the scenario? We have a text box and we have a drop down and one more text box is there. Tell me, what will be the scenario?
Uh,
Hmm.
when we click on the other, the text box will be show.
Hmm. And if we click on any other caste,
Then is not show.
if we click on the select caste,
Then also is not shown.
Okay, everyone understood? So see, we have a cast drop down. If user select OBC, open or SCNT, we have to hide this text box. This text box visibility is based on the drop down selection. If user selected other, then only this text box should be visible. If he select open, then we have to hide it. Clear, everyone? Clear or no?
Yes,
See,
Yes,
sir.
yes, sir.
whenever
Can
we
you
are
explain
working,
the code part once again?
yeah, I will explain.
Okay.
Whenever we are working on the task, 80% is like if you understood the task clearly, then only you will be able to write the code. If you don't understood the task itself, how you are going to write the code,
Yes.
right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we have a drop down. If we select other, then only we need to hide this. We need to show this. Otherwise, we need to hide that. Okay. So we have created a drop down which has some options. Okay. And we have a div. So what we need to do, we need to create a variable. Selected cast data type string is equal to empty. Okay. Next thing, what I have to do? Next thing, we have created a variable. What I have to do next?
NG model.
Right? We need to get the value of the selected cast. Na? So obviously this variable, we need to bind it over here. Again, we are back to the first thing. What are the input element we have? If we need the input element value, we create a variable and we bind that variable to that element. Okay. Don't forget this. NG model, we need to bind this variable. So now user change the drop down, whatever the option he has select, we will get that option over here. Okay. Let me just print this. Let's check. So if I select open, you can see we got open. Okay. So whatever the option user is selecting, that value we are getting in that variable. Now tell me what I need to do.
This variable will compare with other, and in NgIf, if it is true,
So on
that
where we should
value
add
is
it? On this div or on this text box? Where should we add it? ngIf
on the second div.
means this div or text box?
Yeah,
Div,
15,
na?
57, 57.
Okay. So doesn't matter. Again, if you have a design like that, let's say if this is hidden, one more text box is there, then it should move over here. So then you will add it over here. But if you don't have anything after this, then you can add on the text box also. Okay. Anything is same. So
Mm-mm.
over here, star ngIf is equal to selected cast equal to what we need to pass? We need to compare with other single quote other. Let's save and check. So by default, it is not visible. Okay. Now if I select SCNT, we don't have anything. If I select other, text box is visible. If I select open, again it is hidden. Clear?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So these are the few scenarios which we have seen. Okay. Now one more thing, like I told you, like ngIf, what ngIf requires? True and false value. Now in the div 4, what I will do, star ngIf is equal to false. Okay. See, that div is not visible, div 4. What I simply pass? False. Let's pass true. Div is visible. Now you got it? What ngIf requires? True and false value. Doesn't matter, it will get that true and false value from a variable or from a comparison or directly true or false value also. If ngIf got true, it will render the div, otherwise it will hide that div. Clear?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Will this scenario come in the development? Can this scenario come while working on any project or something?
No, sir.
No.
No,
Not-
no.
It won't come anytime because There is no,
Dynamic value.
it's not going
It's a
to be
hard code
dynamic
value.
value. No, it's a hard code value. So if you publish your project on some environment, it's going to be like that only. So there is no use. So this is just for our understanding that what ngIf requires true and false value. Clear, everyone? Okay.
Yes.
So again, tomorrow we will see ngFor. So again, inside ngFor also we can use ngIf. Okay. Just now we have not completed ngFor, so that's why I'm not covering that. But tomorrow again we will see in ngFor also, inside ngFor also we can use ngIf. Okay. Clear all?
Clear, sir.
Understood ngIf properly? See, when we talk about Angular now, if you understand how to show and hide and how to create use the for loop, 50% of Angular is using this either ngIf or at the rate for or at the rate if. 50% Angular is if you understand how you can use ngIf and how you can use ngIf or at the rate for or at the rate if. If you understand this now, 50% work is done. Routing. Do we use routing daily? Let's say you are working on a project.
Yes.
Are we going to use routing daily?
No.
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 Yes.
No.
Yes.
We are not going to use routing topic daily. Let's say at the starting of the creation project. Okay. Let's say you have to navigate from one page to another. That is also not like in every task, you are not going to do that. Correct? But hide and show, dynamic element creation. This is like daily thing.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Understood? So
Yes.
that's why ngIf is very important. One more way is there, but I will explain that once we are done with the basic topic. Okay. For now, what we have seen, we can pass the variable and we can compare it also. Okay. Fine. Anyone has any doubt?
No.
Okay, then we can stop for today. Let's connect. Tomorrow is Saturday now. So tomorrow now we will have a different session, not our regular session. It will be with the whole Angular Academy group. We will try to complete a project. You must have seen, what is this website? Anyone have used
Policy.
Policy Bazaar?
Policy. Yeah, insurance one.
Right? This template also I have created using ChatGPT. It looks like same?
Yeah, it's like yes.
Look like same, na?
Yes, sir. Yes.
This is also using ChatGPT. What I did, I have visited Policy Bazaar. I have taken the screenshot and that screenshot I have put it over here. Let me show you that.
Okay.
There it is. See, I have put this UI and asked him to create. Got it?
Yes, sir. Got it.
So see, so many things are there. If you are not using it, it's your fault.
Yeah.
Correct?
That's true. Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think it's paid one, right, sir? ChatGPT.
No, this is free one only.
This is the one. Okay.
Even my screenshot possible, I think.
Yeah. See na, we have a attachment button over here.
Because maybe
in
use
our
search.
case, it is not showing, sir. In my case also did not.
This attachment button is not there.
No.
How come?
Okay. Okay. Yes, sir. Is there.
You have to log in. Huh? If you are
Okay.
using without login, it won't come. Just
Yeah,
log in.
it's available.
Okay. Fine, everyone. Every day, start interacting with ChatGPT. Every day. Ask anything. See how I'm using the ChatGPT now, you can't even imagine. Now I have created the UI. I have created table myself. Then I have asked him to create the API also. Wait, where it is?
API.
See, I have,
API. sir.
yeah. See, I have
Okay.
put my database table and I have
Okay.
asked is to create first I have asked him to create the models. It has created the models.
Okay.
Then I have asked him to write the API controller code. See,
Okay. Yeah.
got it? I can do this, but it will take at least to just copy paste also my half hour it will
Sir,
need.
mostly offices में ना ChatGPT use करने नहीं दे रहे.
Obviously, no. It's a third party tool. You will be putting your whole code into there. Your
Correct.
you might have heard, na, Bank of America, or so many examples are there where developer are actually put their connection string, some keys into directly on the and internet.
नहीं नहीं, मैं भी यूज करता हूँ तो मैं उस टाइम पे की या जो भी रहता है वो रिमूव या चेंज कर देता हूँ।
You know that.
ये
Not everyone knows that, na? Correct?
Correct. Correct.
Okay. Let's say you have a AWS Bitbucket and
Okay.
you are facing some issue trying to connect. What you can do? You can directly copy that connection string. These are my credential. I'm not able to connect. You can do like that, na?
Yeah, it's
So that's why
possible sometimes.
ChatGPT is not allowed to use in the company.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. ChatGPT is just a starting. Anyone has used Copilot?
Copilot.
Copilot is the next version of ChatGPT.
Oh, is it
Okay.
advanced of? It's like same or more or
No,
less
no,
same,
no.
right?
No, not more or less same.
Okay.
It's just an advanced version of ChatGPT. What ChatGPT can do, it is 2 steps ahead of ChatGPT, Copilot. Okay.
Copilot तो सर बाय डिफॉल्ट सिस्टम पे ही आ रहा है अभी तो।
Yeah.
वो फ्री है, कुछ दिनों के लिए ही यूज कर सकते हैं, पेड है
Yes,
वो.
sir. Is it open source or this Llama?
No, nothing is open source.
No,
ChatGPT
Llama
is
is
also not. Which one?
Llama. It's
No, I'm not
developed
aware.
by Facebook.
So many Gemini is also there now.
Uh-huh.
WhatsApp also has it. So many are there, but
Okay.
you can try to use Gemini. I have
Hmm.
not used. You can try using Gemini, and then you will get to know like ChatGPT is far more what we can say intelligent. If you compare Gemini and the ChatGPT, I
Okay.
have used almost 4 or 5 AI tool, but ChatGPT is like no one match the intelligence of ChatGPT.
Okay.
What model they have now?
Even Copilot.
No, Copilot is something. See, ChatGPT is something else. Copilot is you can add. See, ChatGPT you can ask anything.
Okay.
It's not related only to development. You can ask medical field question, your daily life question, anything you can
Correct.
ask, right? But
Yes.
Copilot is
Copilot.
only related to your coding part.
Okay.
So
Uh-huh.
that's why it is 2 steps ahead of ChatGPT because it has just one specific area to focus.
Yes.
Understood?
Yeah, makes sense.
Okay. So in coming
And
days, like in interview also, they are going to check like how you are comfortable with ChatGPT and Copilot.
Okay.
From day to day, you should start interacting ChatGPT. Okay.
Yep. Sir, one more thing.
Hmm.
Like how about is challenging with React? So what about this, the openings when compared with React?
See,
So,
opening for Angular is more than React,
okay. Then React.
but we have more developer. Everyone is learning Angular. That's why vacancies seems less.
Okay.
Understood?
Okay.
React is relatively hard to learn. That's why very few developers are learning React. That's why very less vacancies look to be like so many vacancies are there because very few people are there
In React.
in React because it's very hard to understand. You need proper JavaScript concept, right?
Okay.
Understood?
So with that, so
मैंने भी
this
सर
Angular
स्टार्टिंग में
is
रिएक्ट
seems like
ही
little
यूज
bit
करना
easy.
स्टार्ट किया था,
Hmm.
बट मुझे थोड़ा डिफिकल्ट पड़ा। फिर बाद में एंगुलर का जब मैंने आपको वीडियोस देखा तो फिर उसके बाद मैंने एंगुलर पे ही पूरा स्विच किया और 2 महीने के अंदर ही पूरा मतलब ऑलमोस्ट एंगुलर
That's the reason,
अंडरस्टैंडिंग
na?
हो।
See, PHP is not in the market now. So whatever the guys who were working on the PHP, they are also working in Angular. Okay. Those who were only limited to website development, UI designer, that jobs also are not there right now. So they are also jumping into Angular. .NET guys also are learning Angular. Java guys also are learning Angular. So you can see so many people are jumping into Angular because it's easy to learn. It has a
Yeah.
proper development or learning path because it's a framework. It has a very stability. But when we talk about React is a library. To do one thing, there are multiple ways to do it. In Angular, if you have to hide and show, how many ways are there? Previously, we just had ngIf. Now we have got
Yeah.
@if, right? But in React,
Correct.
you can do so many. There are so many ways by which you can do the hide and show. So that's why it's very hard to learn React, and you need JavaScript concept very properly. And interviews are also very tough.
Okay.
Okay. So that's why whenever you are working or whenever you are learning Angular, you should not be on an average level. Everything you should know.
In
Because
JavaScript.
no, in Angular, what I'm just talking about Angular. If you are learning Angular, you should not be on a basic level. Like, yeah, I know the basic topic. No, there are multiple guys who knows the basic, right?
Okay.
So something extra you should have. So all the advanced topic, have at least 3 to 4 projects already created, right? What
सर
we can
ये हम
logical
कितने
scenarios
प्रोजेक्ट्स
and
बनाएंगे इसमें?
आपके ऊपर है. मैं 2 भी बता सकता हूँ, 3 भी बता सकता हूँ. Okay. How much project you can do based on. So what we can do, we will do 2 projects, one as a group and one as an individual.
Yeah.
Okay. So that push pull thing also will be taken care.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Fine then. Let's
Thank
connect.
Do
you.
we have any class tomorrow, sir?
No, Saturday, Sunday, no class.
Oh, okay.
But just
You were
regular
saying
class.
something.
Regular class. This project session I will take.
प्रोजेक्ट ओके ओके
It will be with everyone. Okay.
Sir, will you send the link for that or how to
Yeah.
join that one?
You are not in that Angular Academy group community. This
Yes, sir, I'm there. I'm
here
there.
only I will post it.
Okay.
Oh, okay, sir.
Fine then.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
At what time?
9 only. 9 or 9:30.
Okay, evening.
Yeah.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
थैंक यू
Sure.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Bye.